11,000 years ago, long before the pyramids or Stonehenge, someone stacked tons of stone into perfect rings, carved lions, scorpions, and headless men, then deliberately buried every last block under a small mountain of dirt. Today we're digging into the three wildest and best supported theories for why the world's first temple vanished on purpose. German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt rolled up to the dusty hill of Göbekli Tepe in 1994. Within days, he realized the scattered limestone wasn't random. It formed rings up to 20 meters across. Carbon dating floored the team. 9,600 BCE, 6 millennia before the Great Pyramid. Conventional wisdom said only farmers had the time, food surplus, and organization for megaprojects. Yet no grain silos, houses, or even wells showed up near the site. Hunter-gatherers, people who supposedly spent every waking hour chasing dinner, somehow marshaled hundreds of workers to quarry, drag, and decorate multi-ton pillars. That single fact forced textbooks to flip the timeline. Temples came first, farming second. But one puzzle overshadowed the headline. When excavators brushed away the final layer, they noticed the enclosing walls were stuffed with carefully placed rubble. Somebody had entombed their masterpiece almost immediately after finishing it. Pillar 43, nicknamed the Vulture Stone, sports a line of strange carvings. A scorpion, a vulture, and a headless man below what looks suspiciously like a comet. In 2019, engineers at the University of Edinburgh ran statistical tests on the animal symbols and matched them to constellations visible at the onset of the Younger Dryas, a brutal mini ice age that started 12,900 years ago. Ice core records show a platinum spike and glass-like nanodiamonds, fingerprints of a massive impact or airburst. Proponents argue the builders encoded this disaster in stone, then buried the temple as a spiritual fallout shelter, sealing cosmic knowledge so future survivors could reboot civilization. Detractors say the star match is clever, not ironclad. Yet the Younger Dryas did begin only a millennium before Göbekli's earliest layer, close enough to keep the theory alive. Temples glue people together. They also split them apart. Once farming took off nearby, egalitarian hunter bands gave way to chiefs with granaries. Maybe the old ritual site became too powerful a reminder of a shared past nobody wanted. Archaeologist Jens Natroff, still digging at Göbekli, notes that later enclosures got smaller and rougher, hinting at dwindling cooperation. Burying the main circles could have been a political act. Out with the old cosmic order, in with the new grain-based hierarchy. Think of it as hitting a societal reset button, ensuring no rival faction could use the sacred stage to rally followers. The catch? We don't yet have proof of violent conflict or sudden abandonment. The infill looks deliberate but orderly, almost reverent. The third idea flips the question. Maybe burial wasn't destruction, it was preservation. Schmidt always argued the T-shaped pillars are stylized humans, arms folded, watching the circle forever. Covering them with earth could have been a retirement ritual, tucking ancestral spirits into a protective cocoon so they could keep watching underground. Indigenous cultures from North America to Papua New Guinea buried sacred poles or megaliths when ceremonies moved elsewhere. Perhaps the builders saw soil not as erasure, but as the safest museum display case. Radii of animal bones and feasting debris drop sharply right before infill, supporting the idea of a final, massive closing ceremony, rather than a hasty retreat. Quick break. If mysteries like this light up your brain, tap subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the sunken city of Dwarka. Got your own theory about Göbekli? Scroll down and drop it in the comments. Best idea wins pin of fame for a week. Truth is, we may never pick a single winner. The catastrophe model explains the symbolic artwork. The upheaval model fits the timeline of farming's arrival, and the retirement model matches the careful way the stones were entombed. Each probably holds part of the answer. A traumatic climate event scared everyone, changing social structures until the old temple lost relevance, and respectful successors preserved it the only way they knew, under a hill that would hide it for 10 millennia. Göbekli Tepe proves complex religion, art, and labor management flourished before wheat fields or city walls ever existed. Whoever stacked those pillars rewrote the human story, and whoever buried them wrote half the chapter in invisible ink. Was it fear, politics, or reverence that pushed the first temple underground? Until the next trench opens, the dirt keeps its 11,000-year-old secret. While we wait, like the video, share your wildest guess, and remember, history isn't a straight line. It's a spiral staircase, sometimes descending into the dark.